Hello, and welcome to the award-winning Bowie Youth Showcase. I'm your host, Jarrell Pittman, and this episode of Bowie Youth Showcase is all about STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. To help us understand what STEM is all about, we have Dr. Tracy Gilbert, a passionate entrepreneur and systems engineering executive who owns and operates System Innovation LLC, a minority and woman-owned company. Also with us, we have three young men that are inspired, engaged, and empowered through technology: Justice Flora, Jenkins, and Julian Thomas. These three young men will talk about their experience in STEM, from their attending NASA Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama, to winning the Mars competition sponsored by Patriots Technology Training Center. Sounds like the makings of a few not-so-hidden figures. We'll be right back with our guests. Hello, and welcome to the Bowie Youth Showcase. Thanks for tuning in. We have another great show lined up for you today. First, we have with us Dr. Tracee Walker Gilbert. Where do I start? Dr. Gilbert owns and operates her own company, Systems Innovation LLC, where she provides systems engineering and program management services to various clients in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. She has over 17 years of experience leading large-scale initiatives and driving strategy for systems engineering research and engineering programs across various domains, including defense, homeland security, medical, public health, commerce, census, and the education sector. Dr. Gilbert is a results-oriented, customer and employee-focused executive with an excellent execution and delivery record. She has a personal commitment to excellence, integrity, and motivating women and minorities to succeed in the science, technology, engineering, and math fields. Welcome, Dr. Gilbert. Thanks for having you. You sure that you weren't in the movie Hidden Figures?
Oh, that's hilarious.
You're positive.
I stand on the shoulders of those women.
Very much, very much. So we're going to just jump right into it and get started. Who is Tracee Gilbert?
Who is Tracee
Aside
Gilbert?
from all of the accolades and various accomplishments, who is Tracee Gilbert?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say I'm first and foremost a mother and a wife, and I think that permeates throughout all of my life. So I would say I'm a nurturer, I'm a giver, and I enjoy life. So beyond the work that I do, I try to take the love that I have for my children, my passion for engineering, all of that together, I would say, is who I am.
Wow. So how did you get your start in the STEM career field, or how did you get your start?
So I actually started in PG County. I went to elementary, middle, and high school in PG County.
Okay,
and back then we had magnet programs. So I started off in a STEM magnet program, and ever since 5th grade, I've been in a program. So I started 5th grade magnet program. I went to Oxon Hill Science and Technology.
Wow, I graduated from Oxon Hill as well.
All right, Oxon Hill, class of 9. Yes. Went to Oxon Hill. I then went on to Lincoln University. I got my undergraduate degree in physics. I minored in Japanese. I studied abroad in Japan.
Wow.
Came back from actually all 4 years at Lincoln. I interned at NASA, so I got my first start. So that's my connection to the Hidden Figures movie.
Okay, okay.
I did a year at NASA Academy. My junior year, I did with NASA Academy, and thought I'd be going to get my PhD in nuclear engineering, but came back to Lincoln. A random day, my girlfriend had asked me to go to a career fair, and that's where I found Lockheed Martin. And they introduced me to the field of systems engineering. So that's how I got my start.
So what would you say most motivated you to pursue your career?
I would say my love for science and math. I've always, as far back as I can remember, I've always loved solving problems. So it's a passion for science and math. And as a systems engineer, systems engineers are responsible for working with the entire project team to ensure the success of the system. So I get to work in teams to solve very tough problems. across a number of different clients that I've had over the years. So I enjoy working with people, working in teams to solve really tough problems. So I'm really passionate about that. I'm a problem solver, I would say. When you asked me who I was, that took me off guard. But I would say naturally I'm a problem solver. So,
do you have a favorite, I guess, concentration in either the math or science field? So
systems engineering is my passion.
Okay.
And really systems engineering came about developing large-scale systems. So in the Department of Defense, we have aircraft, and right now I'm working on a next-generation aircraft, a target aircraft, but we have large-scale systems. So systems engineering is needed to handle the complexity of such large teams, large systems, large budgets.
Wow.
So that's what systems engineering does.
Okay. That's yeah, because I was very, very intrigued by your bio.
Oh, thank you.
A lot of things I was like, yeah, she's done an awful lot in this field.
Yes.
So you worked at Lockheed Martin, and how did you come about launching your own company?
That's interesting. Actually, when I got pregnant with Gabby, it was something that I was interested in doing, but life takes you down a lot of twists and turns.
Definitely.
And the opportunity just came back about 2 years ago for me to launch out on my own, and it was just the right time. My prime was very supportive of me, so allowing me to leave on a Friday and start my own company on a Monday.
Wow.
So it was a blessing to be able to do that. And then I started out with 4 clients, which was pretty awesome to be able to do. And the kind of work that I'm very passionate about and love doing. So my first 4 clients, I mentioned the target aircraft, so developing the next generation target aircraft, developing the future state of systems engineering across the Department of Defense, overseeing research, and developing strategy. So those are the 4 areas that my company has focused on.
So how do you go about acquiring clients in your field?
Well, so far I've just been fortunate to have clients that I have relationships with. But as the years go on and as I want to grow, it's going to be a different process. So I'd have to go through the traditional process of writing proposals and winning new business. Okay.
So you said that you interned at NASA?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're very, very familiar with the story behind the Hidden Figures movie.
Yes.
So you saw it, I'm guessing, as well.
Yes.
So how did you feel about the movie?
It was a very powerful movie for me.
I think agree.
For African American women to see us as mothers, to see us as wives, to see us as intelligent, to see us supporting each other, those are all things that we do, but we don't see ourselves depicted in that manner. So it was very powerful for me in that sense. I mean, I also worked at NASA, so that connection. Currently now I support the Pentagon, so to see that women weren't even allowed in the Pentagon, and I have the opportunity and the privilege now to go to the Pentagon, I used to have an office in the Pentagon, but now I'm at an annex to the Pentagon, but to be able to be there is such a privilege for me. So it was on so many different levels. I was really inspired and really moved. And just seeing all that the women went through to pave the way so that I could have the opportunities that I have today was pretty amazing.
So you ladies saw the movie as well,
Yes.
I'm guessing? How did you guys feel about the movie?
Well, I thought it was very smart for women to think about their future and how they're passionate about their future.
What about you?
I think it helped me learn more about how much women can do in life. Instead of it just doing something what they think they can do something even bigger.
That's definitely true. I commended the movie so much so just for giving yet another example for young women to follow behind, and definitely the STEM program has not always been very accepting of women.
Absolutely.
And also not very accepting of minority, but they definitely paved the way for that.
Right.
So with your commitment, it spoke on your commitment, your bio spoke on your commitment to motivating minorities and women to succeed in the STEM program. So tell us about some of the initiatives that you pursued as far as that.
Yeah, I don't think a woman or minority can go through the process of becoming an engineer or becoming a scientist or a mathematician without wanting to help other women or other minorities, because we are underrepresented in the field. So one of the things that I enjoy about being an entrepreneur is that I can focus my efforts on things that I'm interested in. So last year we launched a women's workshop. We also have a student entrepreneurs workshop, and this year we're looking to, at the military base where the kids go to school, we're looking at starting a robotics camp.
Wow.
This summer for the kids, because that was what they were interested in, so I try to bring them into the fold as well. But eventually I'd like to grow even further than that. I'd like to grow into more research areas that we can target learning for our students, as well as helping with professional development for women and underrepresented minorities.
Definitely. So as a business owner and as a STEM professional, what obstacles do you say that you see women and minorities still face in the field of science and technology?
So I think it's still a challenge. I mean, being underrepresented, being one, the only female, being different, I think, is what the challenge is. I mean, I think we've made a lot of progress since Hidden Figures. There are a lot more women in the field, but there's still more work to be done. So I think just overcoming the challenge of being different.
Definitely. So would you consider there to be any collective goals that we as minorities or women should strive for in the STEM programs?
So I think we have to get our young people interested early, because your interest early is an indicator of whether or not you'll pursue a career. We also have to get our children quality education so that they can have the background to be able to pursue a career in engineering. And then we need to support them throughout the process. So I said I've been in a STEM program through elementary school, through college, through graduate school. Once I finished graduate school, I was in a program that actually took me to the Department of Defense. So I've been supported throughout my entire career. Now as an entrepreneur, there are programs that help me as a minority, as a female. So throughout each stage of your career, you need support. So I think that support is very important.
Wow, and I definitely could not agree with you more. So with so much already achieved in your career, what's next? What's your next goals, and what are you striving for the future?
So I'd say for the future, as I said, as a systems engineer, your whole goal is to create successful systems. So I would like to have a successful business. I would like for my children to grow up to be who they were called to be. And eventually, I think I'll probably be working for the rest of my life. But I think eventually, after I grow my business and potentially sell my business, maybe go back to academia and teach.
Oh, wow. So once you finish everything up, still go
That's a long ways away. Yes.
A long ways away.
Long ways away.
When they say when your work is your passion, it doesn't really feel like work.
That is true for me. That is true for me.
Oh,
yes.
I love it. So one last quick question. If they made a movie about you, who would you want to play you?
Oh, wow. I wouldn't even know the answer to that. I would say maybe one of these two.
One of the girls? Okay, I could definitely agree with that. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining us today for our show. It was very inspiring what you had to offer, and we definitely will hope for the best for you
in
your future career. And we will be right back. We will be right back with 3 young winners of the Mars competition from the Patriots Technology Center. Stay tuned.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Thanks for staying with us. Next, we have 3 young men that are inspired, engaged, and empowered through technology, who are already setting the foundation to be the next great minds in the STEM field. Welcome, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening. How you all doing?
Good.
All right. So we're going to jump right into it. You go ahead and introduce yourselves to the audience. Let us know a little bit about you. We can start over here with Justice.
My name is Justice Flora. I'm an 8th grader, and I attend Thomas Johnson Middle School.
All right.
Hello, my name is Christian Jenkins, and I attend Parkland Magnet Middle School, and I'm in 7th grade.
Hi, my name is Julian Thomas. I'm in the 8th grade, and I attend Ernest Everett Just Middle School.
Okay. So we're going to start with a little bit about the activities outside of the STEM program. I hear, Justice, you dibble and dabble in some government. You're on the executive board for NSBE?
Yes.
All right. So what are you doing? What do you do as the parliamentarian for them?
As the parliamentarian for the NSBE chapter in Maryland, I help host meetings for our Patriots technology, which allows the community to come together and have fun in these different events.
Okay. And I hear you all were also the valedictorian of your 6th grade class?
Yes.
Congratulations with that.
Thank you.
And Destination Imagination. Can you tell me a little, what's that about?
Destination Imagination is a competition where a problem is given to you and you have 3 months to solve it. And throughout those 3 months, challenges come up and you have to collaborate with a team of 7 to get the challenge done. And through that, my team went to global finals, and which was an awesome competition.
Wow. That's really cool. That's really cool. So, Christian,
Yes.
I hear you are a 3-sport athlete. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
What sports do you play?
Well, I swim, I play basketball, and I ran cross country.
Okay. So wearing the title as a 3-sport athlete, I have to ask the question, are you good at any of these sports?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what's your favorite out of the 3?
Most definitely basketball.
I can respect that. Good man, good man. And Mr. Julian, I hear you are also in the performing arts field as well as the STEM field.
Yes.
Okay, what do you do in that area?
I play the clarinet at my school.
You play the clarinet?
Yes.
Were you also in the, this is in middle school and elementary school, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so do you, is that a pastime, or do you like STEM better than performing arts, or performing arts better than STEM? What you think?
If I had to choose, I would choose STEM.
Why so?
Because STEM is more interactive than performing arts.
Okay. Well, I hear you guys brung some changes of clothes here. You guys look nice in the suits and ties, but I feel like you will be a little bit more comfortable in something that's a little more up for your speed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we'll be right back. We're going to give these guys a chance to get into their space gear, and then we'll be back. All right, welcome back. Now that we have our guys dressed for the occasion, we're going to get straight to it. So, the Mars competition. I heard you guys went out there and definitely brought home the gold. So, I want each of you to give your personal account. Tell me what the Mars competition was and how it went. Guess we'll start over here this time with Julian.
So the Mars competition was basically finding out a way to make Mars a habitable planet one day in the future. And then we had to complete a simulation to basically see which group could make the best habitat.
Wow, okay. So, trying to make Mars inhabitable, how'd you guys come about with the idea for that? How'd you solve that problem?
Well, originally the project was on Mars, so we just thought of a way to make living space, because eventually, one day, people will probably most likely have to go to Mars for more space as the population grows and grows throughout the world. So we just wanted to come up with a way to make it so that people could live there.
Okay. So you said you had to do a simulation of this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so how'd you do that?
Through our simulation, there was an actual game that a developer made where we had to use the normal functions that you would need to live on Mars, which was oxygen, water, sunlight, and the normal things on Earth.
Okay, so how did the competition go? So you had to present? Did you just, how did that work?
Well, we presented our portion of how we would make it so that we could live on Mars, what we would need, and all those sorts of things. And after that, you could do like a skit or whatever, and that's what we did within our presentation.
Okay.
And after that, that's when we would do the game and get our score racked up and everything like that.
So by game, what do you mean?
Well, the simulation of how you live on Mars. So first is the presentation portion, and then you have the game portion where you try to live as long as possible.
Okay. So how did you guys get involved with this competition, Julie?
It started off with our parents. We met a man by the name of Mr. Thurmond, and he brought us into the Patriots Technology Group. And through the year, they have different competitions, and the Mars competition was included in that.
Okay. And like I said, you guys definitely, obviously did a great job. You brought home first place, so congratulations to you all on that.
Thank you.
And I hear that the winners got to go to NASA's space camp in Alabama?
Yes.
Oh man, so I'm guessing this is where you got the suits from. You guys have mines on back order, or how's that work? Am I getting mines after the show?
Maybe.
Possibly.
I have to look in your
Yeah, I
mail.
don't sound very...
Might be waiting for a long time.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. We'll talk about that later.
Yep.
So I'm sure that was a great experience, I'm sure.
Yes.
Let's start with Justice. Tell me about your experience at space camp.
My experience at space camp was really fun because of the different activities we did. We did astronaut training, which involved with zero gravity and a lot of experiments with different things to live on the moon and Mars and different planets.
So what would you say, Christian, was your most memorable moment while you were at space camp?
Most definitely when we were in mission control. We would do our missions. We would have practice. Well, we would have practice first, like around 4 maybe, just to get a gist of what we would be doing and what positions you would have, whether you're Capcom, flight director, you're pilot, things like that. And then at night, that's when you would actually do your mission. And it was really fun because you would do experiments if you were a scientist on the ship, on the ISS, or you could be one of the Capcom's people in the actual mission control room directing to people where they need to be and what they need to do.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. So, Julian, what would you say was your biggest takeaway after leaving space camp?
How many countries, like how many kids from around the world like to go to space camp for just a week at a time?
Okay.
And all the different ethnicities and groups there.
Wow. So it was a very diverse crowd. Did you meet a lot of new friends going to space camp?
Yes.
How were you guys grouped? Did you have how did that work in terms of how they grouped you guys?
Well, there was an elementary school kids group, there was a middle school group, and then there was the high school group. We were in the middle school group, and there was probably around, I don't know, maybe like a few hundred of us in that middle school group.
Wow.
And there was different teams. You had different teams for your group. We were Team Titan, that was our name.
Okay.
And we did various things within our group.
Nice. So clearly the Patriots Technology Training Center has definitely given you guys a lot of great opportunities. I guess I'll start back over here with Justice. What do you say is probably, aside from the Mars, because I'm sure the Mars program was on the top of all you guys' lists, I'm sure.
Yes.
But aside from that, what would you say was one of your other most favorite activities or competitions that you did with a part of Patriots Center?
Definitely the video gaming competition because it's extremely intense and the various amount of people that compete are very skilled and strategic in how they play.
Wow. So how did that competition go? What was the, I guess, the goal?
The goal is to get first place, and there's so many people, and the overall, if you win first place, you get $100.
So what does it take to win first place in a video game?
A lot of practice and a lot of skill.
So you're actually literally going and playing up against other kids?
Yes.
Wow. I know a lot of kids that would love to be a part of that. So what would you say is your favorite activity, Christian?
Oh, like from Mars or in Patriots altogether?
In Patriots.
As Justice said, video gaming, and then also Lego. We did Lego. That was pretty fun.
Okay.
We had our coach, Mr. Duquesne Butler. He helped us get through that, and you got to build this. You had this robot, and it had a brick, and that's where you could use it for control, and you make code, different things like that, and you would also build with Legos. So that was pretty cool.
Wow, it's awesome to hear that you guys are taking part in things that some students on the college level still haven't, got to get their hands on yet. So that's really awesome. What about you, Julian? What do you think is your aside from Mars, your favorite activity or competition?
I would say the math counts competition, where we place first place in November in Norfolk, Virginia, and in March we will go to Kansas for the national competition.
Wow, you guys, I'm a bit envious. I'm jealous of you guys. You sound like you have a lot of fun often with the Patriot Center. So who inspired you guys to pursue a career path in the STEM programs? I'll start on this end, Julian.
I'll have to say my parents, because my dad is extremely smart, so I wanted to be like him.
All right. I think you're gonna get some kudos for that after the show. Okay. And what about you, Christian?
Yeah, like Julian said, parents, because they got us into it around 3rd, 4th grade, and they just found something that we liked within it, and we just never stopped. So
nice. Justice?
Not only my parents, but my 5th grade STEM teacher, Mr. David Lai, who not only introduced me to the STEM field, but gave me different opportunities to pursue a career in STEM.
Yeah. So you all mentioned your parents, or the adults in your lives definitely helped you shape your path into the STEM program. So what would you say to parents that were a little less involved? How important is parent involvement with you developing your STEM careers?
Well, it's a major factor, but some advice that I would give is to just put your child in it early and just like find something that they're interested in, how our parents did with us, because as you can see, like we're doing a bunch of stuff within Patriots, so just put them in something early.
Awesome. So I heard also, along with you winning the Mars competition and going to space camp, you also got to get an advanced viewing of Hidden Figures.
Yes.
How did you guys enjoy the movie, Justice?
The movie was very powerful. It had an impactful message that times have changed, and the diversity in different places has grown over time, and it should continue to grow. And everybody should consider a career in a STEM field. Okay.
So one last question. I want you each to tell me what your career aspirations are real quick. Julian?
I would like to become a math professor.
Okay.
I would like to do something in computer science or marketing.
All right.
Probably a career computer engineering.
Computer engineering. Okay. And one final question. What advice would you have for your peers or younger kids about participating in STEM programs? I'll start with Christian.
Well, just finding something that you like, whether it's video gaming or probably have other competitions like biomedical, if you're interested in medicine, things like that. Okay. Flight simulation, if you like to fly planes, things like that.
Wow. Well, it was definitely great talking with you guys. I wish you all the best. I know it's a lot of people out there that are very proud of you for what you guys are doing. And I want you to make sure that you can continue doing that through high school and on to college and more. All right? Thank you guys so much for taking time out to come and talk to us today and talk to our youth. It's been a pleasure having you, and we hope you come back again. Once again, thank you to all of today's guests for taking the time to come on the show and talk to our youth. It has been an absolute pleasure. Bowie Youth Showcase is here to educate, motivate, inspire, and uplift our youth, and by joining us, you have done just that. I hope our audience at home today has enjoyed today's show. See you next time.